So the intention here, the clarity of intention, is the original, is awakening to, and the cultivation of. It's a cultivation of and awakening to the original inspiration behind the Big Bang. And I was describing it yesterday when I was speaking about the authentic self, when I was speaking about the creative impulse, right? It's the urge to become, and what that actually is. So I'm speaking about that inspiration, that original, essential, foundational, causal inspiration behind everything. It's the essential, original, causal inspiration behind manifestation. So when I'm talking about clarity of intention, I'm not speaking about small things. I'm speaking about big things. That's why I made this joke about, hey, I lost 10 pounds in 6 months. I'm talking about something on a completely different scale, okay? So when I talk about the original causal inspiration behind the urge to become manifest, to take form, I'm speaking about the God impulse itself, okay? So that's what that first tenet is all about, is cultivating that godlike intention. And the only way you cultivate the godlike intention is by awakening to that very inspiration yourself. You have to awaken to that level of inspiration. You follow my point? It's a really big deal. Not a small deal, a big deal. It's about the biggest deal that there is. And also understand that the urge to create is very specific. It's a very specific passion. And this teaching, the teaching of evolutionary enlightenment, is really very much about awakening to the original inspiration behind the first cause, and becoming, right, a human manifestation and expression of that very same inspiration. So to be evolutionarily enlightened means you have become, to a significant degree, a living human manifestation expression of that primary inspiration, the original causal inspiration behind the first cause. So it's a really big deal. That's why it says evolutionary enlightenment. So the enlightenment, which is consciousness beyond ego, is the awakening to, and then becoming a living manifestation expression of that primary or original inspiration that is eternal. The Big Bang didn't happen and then stop, did it? You all know that, right? It's happening, right? It's like bang. It didn't go bang and stop. Okay, so now I've given kind of more of a cosmic definition of what clarity of intention is. But now I want to speak about clarity of intention in a way that's not quite so cosmic, but it's a little more relates to the human situation. Okay? Right? I mean, well, I was relating to I just want to make clear, I was just talking about the human situation. I mean, for me, what I was just speaking about right now, for me, is absolutely real. It's not esoteric. There's not. I mean, it sounds esoteric, but for me, at an experiential level, what I just described to you is not esoteric. Okay, but anyway, just to speak about it in a slightly different way. To speak a little bit more about the psychological predicament that we're in, is that, as everybody knows, or as that all of you I'm sure already know, one of the principal reasons that so many of us don't develop very much after we pass, the age of 17. No, sorry, but sorry. But one of the reasons most of us don't develop very much is because there are a lot of unconscious motivations that are driving us, right? And I'm sure all of you at least have heard about this, if not have intimate familiarity with the problem. But for most of us, there are many, many motivations within us that are not conscious, that we're not very aware of. We may have some sense of them. But, the problem with us is that we are very complex characters, creatures. So what makes development really difficult is because part of us can kind of be interested in higher development, but there's another part of ourself, and that maybe is not interested in higher development, is maybe not interested in, to speak in more mundane psychological terms, maybe is not interested in being happy. It's a rather mundane concept, not very cosmic, but it's a significant thing to talk about. I mean, there's not a lot of people. When I say people, remember, I'm only talking about people at the leading edge, well-educated, relatively speaking, quite wealthy people. There's not a lot of people I meet that that actually really want to be happy, that want to succeed in life, right? There's not a lot of people I meet who want to be truly happy, who want to succeed in life. To be honest. Because you see, the point is, if you really want to succeed, you will. If you want to succeed, you will. Why? Well, because there's all the energy. Because if you put all the energy that's God's given you behind the intention to succeed, assuming a rock doesn't fall on your head, when things like that do happen, what's going to stop you? And I don't think a lot of people are very aware of the difference between trying hard, thinking or believing that you want to succeed, but deeply, and it's kind of unconsciously, not really intending to succeed, versus giving it everything you got and deeply and profoundly and absolutely intending to succeed. So, if it's the second one, if you give it everything you got, and if you give it everything you have, and you do intend to succeed, you will. Like I said, unless a rock falls on your head, unless some disaster befalls you that prevents your success, you will succeed because there's no way you can't.